Good morning, Mr. Raju. We are from Group 6 and our group will discuss about the human rights in Malaysia. Firstly, human rights are essential for everyone no matter their nationalities, genders, ethnicity, religion, or any other status. The rights we have are really important because they make sure everyone is treated equally with dignity and freedom. Malaysia is a country with a mix of cultures and religions, and its approach to human rights is influenced by its two legal systems, which include both civil and Islamic law. The country has seen some good improvement in healthcare, education, and the economy, but there are still some issues to deal with, such as gender inequality, limit on free speech, labor rights, and differences in socio-economic status. The right to disconnect is becoming a key issue in today's work environment, particularly with the increase in remote work and the use of digital technologies. The way things are changing really mixes up the lines between work and personal life, which makes it tough to people to find a good balance between the two. For the freedom of speech, which is also known as freedom of expressions, it is an important topic to consider. The right is protected under Article 10 of the Federal Constitution, ensuring that every Malaysian citizen to access to it. As science and technologies keep advancing, we face new challenges like media freedom, online expressions, and public opposing views. The issues of freedom of religion is really important and quite sensitive in Malaysia. The Federal Constitution ensures freedom of religions and allows individuals to follow their beliefs. But there are challenges that arise from the country's multicultural and religious diversity. Lastly, gender discrimination is definitely one of the most important human rights issues we face today. Even though Malaysia has made progress in encouraging women to get involved in education, entrepreneurships, and the workforce, there are still some big challenges to deal with. These issues include violence based on gender, early marriage of children, lack of political representations, and inequality in the workplace.
So now we're going to the first issue under the topic of human rights. The first issue is about the right to disconnect, what we call RTD. Right to disconnect is a right allow employee to avoid work-related communication after hours, protecting their personal times. So for the culture of right to disconnect in our country, many Malaysians support adopting the right to disconnect, but challenges make it difficult. Adopt the right to disconnect could raise service costs, affecting consumer. Higher costs and operation hurdles means that Malaysia is not yet ready for this policy. So, throughout the issue, there are some moral principles and ethical standards that can apply. The first one is deontological ethic. Enforcing the deontological ethic ensure that employees are not treated as a tool for organization needs, protecting their dignity, well-being, and personal times. The second one is right theory. The RTD is a human right under the right theory that allow individuals to manage their time without employer interference, ensuring personal autonomy and dignity. The third one is utilitarianism. So, the right to disconnect improve employee well-being by reducing their stress, burnout, and mental health issue, and then can lower absence rate is problem and turnover, cutting operation costs. Applying RTD, right to disconnect, benefit both individual and also organization. This align with the utilitarian principle by promoting overall happiness. The last one is retro ethic. In the context of the right to disconnect, employer can respect employee personal time and promote a work-life balance, while employee in turn can practice responsibility, ensure that they can disconnect and recharge without guilt.
Now I will continue to discuss the issue of the human rights in Malaysia, which is freedom of speech. This right protect under Article 10 of the Federal Constitutions allow business to engage in public discourse, market products, and advocate of causes. However, it comes with limitations under laws like the Sedition Act 1948 and the Communication and Multimedia Act 1998, which ensure national security and social harmonies by regulating content in insane conflict or spread falsehood. Not only that, economic benefit of these freedoms are immense. Open expressions foster transparency, innovations, and trust. For instance, Malaysian companies like Petronas and AirAsia use corporate advocacy to address social issues while boosting brands' image and economic growth. However, there are challenges. Legal restrictions, particularly on politically sensitive topics, demand cautious from business. Moreover, Unethics practice like misleading advertisements undermine consumer trust and market efficiency despite regulatory frameworks like the Advertising Standard Authority. In conclusion, business freedom of speech in Malaysia is a powerful tool for economic and societal progress, but it must be balanced with ethic practice and legal boundary. Thank you. So now I want to continue about our moral principles and ethics standards relate to the issues, which is freedom of speech. It's about the utilitarianisms. Under utilitarianisms, commercial expressions is free under the conditions that it promote the interests of the society for innovations, accountability, and exchange the idea. Speech should be allowed unless it injures others. In commerce, transparent communications may enable consumers to facilitate public conversations. Communications that damage the interests of the companies come in the forms of descriptive advertising or discriminatory comments, which may damage the brand, break the trust, and put the companies at the risk of legal problems.
Now I will explain the freedom of religion, one of the human rights in Malaysia. Malaysia is a multicultural country with three major ethnic groups, Malay, Chinese, and Indians, each maintaining unique cultural identity. In Malaysia, religious freedom is protected by Article 11 of the Federal Constitution. It gives everyone has the right to profess and practice their religions. But Clause 4 allows state and federal laws to control or limit the spread of other religious beliefs to Muslims. This is in line with Schedule 9, List 2, Item 1, which allows control over the spread of religious belief to Muslims. This freedom has shaped a strong unity among the races, as evidenced by the peaceful environment that Malaysians have achieved. Now I will explain the moral principle and ethical standard that related with the issue. The first one is moral right. In Malaysia, Muslims must obtain permission from the Sharia code to convert to Islam, while non-Muslims are not subject to these restrictions. This violates the concept of equal right for everyone as stimulated in international human rights law. Everyone should have the same right to choose their religion. The second one is utilitarianism. They focus on the greatest happiness for the majority. Restrictions on Muslim conversion aim to maintain social harmony and prevent conflict. However, this approach may overlook the well-being of individuals who feel trapped in a religion they no longer believe in. While society may remain peaceful, people who are unable to live their religion may suffer emotionally and mentally. The third one is justice-based ethics. Justice emphasizes fair treatment and equality for all. Non-Muslims have more freedom to change religion compared to Muslims. This creates an unequal system in a country, with one society having more freedom than another.
My name is Chen Sunwei and my membership number is 292712. Next is gender discrimination. Gender discrimination in Malaysia is a persistent issue impacting women in employment and wages. Over half of Malaysian women report to workplace discrimination, such as being questioned about marital status or being denied promotion in favor of less qualified men. Wage disparities persist, with women earning 2,545 ringgit monthly compared to men's 2,664 ringgit. The lack of sufficient parental leave, where over 55% of men had less than a week or no leave, places the caregiving burden on women, further limiting their professional growth. Next, moral principle and ethical standard. Ethical perspective shed light on gender discrimination. Utilitarianism stresses the benefits of equality for societal well-being and economic growth. From this view, eliminating discrimination enhances productivity and harmony. Deontology highlights fairness and equity, emphasizing that gender-based discrimination violates the moral principle of equal treatment. Virtual ethics focus on developing moral character such as justice and empathy, which are undermined by discriminatory practices. Finally, right theories underscore the fundamental rights to equality and dignity, showing how gender discrimination violates this principle and impacts both individuals and society.
In summary, human rights in Malaysia remain a major issue due to institutional, cultural, and legal issues. Although there have been advancements in healthcare and education, urgent attention is still needed for right to disconnect, freedom of speech, freedom of religion, and gender discriminations. First, the right to disconnect advocates for work-life balance is essential for mental health and productivity. As we know, employers must prioritize fair treatments and embrace ethical frameworks like utilitarianism and deontology to create better workplace cultures. Next, freedom of speech and religion highlight the need for balance between individual liberties and societal interests. As we know, the justice-based ethics is also call for equity and mutual respect for foster harmony. Moreover, gender discriminations reflects the systematic inequalities faced by women in wages, parental leaves, and also workplace opportunities. These inequalities addressing the requires policies rooted in respect, equity, and inclusivity. At last, through promoting diversity, equity, and human rights, Malaysia may help create a future in which equality and justice define the goals of all its residents.